All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, Iñaki. How are you?
Hello, Tatiana. How are you doing? Quite good. What about yourself?
Yeah. Nice to hear you. I'm pretty good. Yeah, it's almost the end of summer, and just meeting all the last days of summer of August and enjoying them. How the weather in Switzerland?
I mean, it's quite good. I mean, better than in Spain where I used to live before, but it's pretty good. It's like 20 degrees, 25 the highest temperature, so really, really good one.
That's cool. Sounds good. I love Switzerland. I've been there once, and yeah, it's a very beautiful country. Okay,
Mhm.
I think we already have enough people to start. So today we're going to speak about APIs, and Iñaki is the master of APIs, I believe. So I guess this webinar will be very useful for all the people who deal with this. And I think we can get started. So, Iñaki, welcome and have a nice speech and day. And and just one reminder from my side, if you like our webinar, you can say thank you for the speaker or to the moderator and put your likes on the page of the event. And I will just quickly share this link in the chat and we can begin. Thank you very much and uh, have a nice webinar.
Okay, so I'll start presenting my screen. Let's start with the beginning of everything. So, hello, everyone, and today I'll will look at the automatization of the API governance reviews using the Spectral tool. As Tatiana said, I'm an expert in API governance with over 7 years of experience in large companies such as BBA and EPAN for different clients. And let's take a look at the agenda for today. I'm going to start with the basics of an API definition, the API standards, and which ones I follow in every API design to make sure that, that an API is strong, easy to maintain, and works well with other systems. And then I'll go through the spectral universe and how to automatize these API standards with a demo. So let's start with the definition of an API. An API is an application programming interface. It's like a bridge that allows different software applications to communicate with each other. For a moment, imagine that you are in a restaurant. You are the user and you are looking at the menu. The menu will be the interface. It's also known as API specification or API spec. And you decide what you want. Then you tell the waiter, in this case, the waiter is going to be the API, what you want to eat or to drink. And then the waiter goes to the kitchen. The kitchen is going to be the server to place your order. And then the kitchen slash server is going to prepare the food. And the waiter, which it was the API, bring it back to you, everything. So once we have an idea of the API, about what is an API, let's go to the API governance standards. These standards are important because they help us to maintain the quality and reliability of APIs and facilitate collaboration between teams and even organizations, right? So the API governance standards are slightly linked to the term RFC, request for comments, as you can see here, which is a series of documents that describes the standards, protocols, and best practices related to the internet and communication technologies. Here, for instance, I provide three of them just to take a deeper look after the presentation if you want to increase your knowledge about them. On the right side, this one, you have an example of one of them to see what it looks like. Please be aware that I also provide the link just to access them, just in case you want to review later. Now, once we have defined the API standards and the foundations for them, let's talk about the API reviews, which is the main topic of this webinar. Now, talking about the API reviews, in my current project, we reduce the manual reviews up to 80% of the time thanks to the automatization with the Spectral Linting engine. The other 20% still needs to be accomplished by a human due to the evaluation of the description in the attributes, the endpoints design, among others. Let's start with the 4 steps that we need to follow to link an OpenAPI specification file. First, first of all, we should install a Spectral on our laptop. For me, the easiest way is to use an npm through your terminal. In my case, is a Mac terminal. The second step is create the rule set. The rule set can be the Spectral default rule set or a custom one. Usually, you need to define a custom one depending on the governance standards your company has defined, your company or your client. The third step is to link the rule set. With the rule set created, you need to link the OpenAPI specification. So to be a link, you only need to execute this prompt, the following prompt, between the OpenAPI spec and the rule set. Basically, my API file YAML is the OpenAPI spec file name, and my rule set is the name of your rule set. And then to conclude, the fourth step is just apply the feedback to solve the problems identified. So here we just have uh, all the theory for this webinar. And the next step is that we just arrived at the practical section of the webinar. So please let me to share an OpenAPI spec that I download from internet actually, and an easy spectral rule set to guide you about the different spectral attributes. And afterwards, we will link the OpenAPI spec with the rule set created. And if we have enough time, we'll apply the feedback. So this is the regular OpenAPI spec example. This is the Swagger Pet Store example. And I only add my contact information and the description explaining the purpose of this file. As you can see here, my contact and the description. This other one is the rule set that I created for this webinar. As you can see, we have only 2 custom rules, HTTP description and HTTP 200 description. So now let me give you some explanation about the different attributes that we have in the rule itself. For the rule, we have the message attribute. This message is going to help the users quickly to understand what the goal of the rule is. After that, we have the severity. The severity helps to define the importance of following the rule. We have 4 types of severity: error, warn, info, and hint, where the error is the highest severity and hint is the lowest severity in that case. After that, we have the given. The given keyword tells Spectral what part of the OpenAPI spec file to target by using JSON path. And to finish, we have the then property. The then property includes the function, the function type, and options that tell Spectral how to apply the function to the JSON or YAML file, which is going to be the OpenAPI specification, and make sure that the rule is being followed or not. Spectral has a set of built-in functions, and here we have just 2 different examples. In this case, the function throughing and the function enumeration, but Spectral by default define other set of functions. So I think with this, we are ready to start linting our file. First of all, just to show you, I'm here in this folder, and in the same folder, I have the OpenAPI file plus the rule set. So first of all, I'm going to locate the terminal in that folder. I'm here, sorry, I'm here. And now the next step is going to link the file as we saw before in the presentation with the prompt spectral link, the name of my OpenAPI file, the rule set, and the rule set itself. In this case, I already linked it before, so I could take advantage of that. Let's continue with the different errors that we can see. Here we have a warning, and also we have an error. So this is basically the severity that I told before. As you can see here, we have the operation description, operation tag defining. All this part of the linter output, of the terminal output, is the name of the rule. As you can see, in my rule set, I only have defined an HTTP description and HTTP 200 description, which is the ones that we have here. So from where I can have these spectral rules, the thing is that, as I mentioned before, we could inherit some rules from Spectral. So that's the reason, because I added here at the top of the file extends a Spectral OAS. These rules are already defined beforehand by Spectral. So let's take a look at the time, because I think that we could have some more time. Yes, I think that. So let me go just to solve some of the errors, right? Let's start with this one, operation description. Also here, this message is the one that Spectral already defines. But for instance, in this other rule, this is the message that I prepared here for the rule HTTP 200 description. I have the same message. The description of the HTTP status code 200 must be okay. And also, if we are continuing looking at the terminal output, we can see here where is the location of this problem identified, with this into the path, bits, the method get, response 200, and the description. So let's go to solve this one. Let's go to the file. We set paths, bits, get, and also to the then let's go to the response and the 200. In this case, the description of the 200s, as you can see here, is a page array of pets. If I follow the spectral rule set that I define, I just need to define this as an OK. So if I save this, I'm able to link again the file. And please be aware of this line where we have 8 problems, 2 errors, and 6 warnings. If I link the file again, I expect to reduce this number of problems to 7 and just to have 1 error. So let's do it. Yeah, here we are. We just reduced the problem in 1 number and the warning also. And the error also. Let's try to solve this one if it's an error. So it's the critical one. And let's go to the path pets, pet ID, get response 200 description. But this is a good approach if we are using the spectral itself. But also be aware that you are able to take a look on the line directly. These numbers that we have here, the first number is the line number, and the second number is the column number of your file. So if I go to the line 82 and the column 24, I could see also the line that is triggering this error in this case. So let's go to the line 82, which is this one, and ready to go. Here we have the description, which is not expected by the standards rule set that we defined previously. So let's update this one as well and save it. Let's name the file. And as we can see now, we don't have any errors. We only have some warnings, which are the sys problem. Additionally, I would like to add one more thing here, is that as you can see here, the severity of these rules, all of them are warnings. This is because the spectral rules that we inherit are set as warning by default. but we could change the severity if we would like to implement this rule. For instance, if I would like to change this severity, the severity of this rule to info, for instance, instead warning, I just need to use this rule, just add it in my file, and set the severity error like info. If I save this file and I run it and I lint it again the file, I expect that this rule, all the rules, or sorry, all the problems triggered by the operation description, instead warning, they will be info. So let's try it. Yeah, ready to go. As you can see here, we also can change the severity of the spectral rules that we inherit beforehand. And I think that this pretty much all the presentation that I would like to present today, guys. So let's move to the next part of the, if there is any questions or something that you would like um, to ask, please feel free to do that. Oh,
Thank you. Thank you very much, Iñaki. So far, we don't have any questions as far as I see, but let's probably wait for a couple of minutes. Maybe someone else would like to ask you. But, anyways, you can see the slide with the contacts, so you can reach Iñaki offline. And I also see that there is a ask for the recording and the presentation. So the recording will be available on the events page right after we finish, and also on our new YouTube channel. I will duplicate this message in the chat so that everyone can see this, and we will also share the presentation, and it will be in the comments for the event on VR community page. So yeah. And so far, I don't see any questions. Probably you said everything, and everything is clear. Hopefully, thank you very much, Iñaki. In this case, we can conclude our meeting for today, our webinar. And please don't hesitate to reach Iñaki if you have any questions.
yes, please feel free to do it. It was a pleasure to present this to the people. But as I said, this is the main, the first step to automatize all the API reviews. And in the future, it could be you could increase the complexity of the rules, you could define or custom rules, and you could, I mean, automatize almost the 80% of your API reviews easily. And this basically means a reduce of time or reviewing time in APIs design. Yeah, feel free to reach me out to ask any question, or if you have any issue or any doubt with the Spectral, feel free to reach me out. Tatiana, you're on mute. I think.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much, Iñaki, once again. Appreciate for sharing your knowledge, and have a good day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.